Well, thank you very much for coming here today. I really appreciate your presence and from some supporters. It was a last-minute decision for us to call it today. I guess we should have a bit more coordination with the other candidates to ensure that perhaps we don't all do it on the same time at the same moment. But today I'm actually talking about rebuilding the fiscal balance that exists. And the reason I brought you here today at this point, at this place, is because this is where it's going to happen. This legislative building behind me is going to be the central point of where those discussions are going to occur. Because what we need to is ensure the long-term success of Winnipeg. My wife, Catherine, and I, and my 5 children understand the value of money. And we understand the value of working hard in order to succeed in life. We also know that when you work hard, you want to see your money, when it's given to civic administration, used wisely and frugally. We want to ensure that civic administration is actually doing the appropriate things with it. And for too long now in the City of Winnipeg, what we have seen is a colossal waste of money, cost overruns, and a seemingly forgetfulness about what people are there to actually be doing at City Hall. But I have a comprehensive financial plan to ensure that the citizens of the City of Winnipeg are served by an effective and efficient public service, and that our public infrastructure is well maintained, and that all civic taxpayers are receiving excellent value for their money. This plan includes having a rigorous examination of all components of civic spending to find prudent pruning that will not be done simply by cutting red tape or using jargon or rhetoric, but really actually looking at the programs and working with civic employees to find cost savings. Not by cutting budgetary lines, but actually by working with civic employees to actually look to the minute detail of how we can actually save money at City Hall. We need a type of City Hall that lets civic employees do their jobs with the energy and initiative and passion that they have for this city. We need a type of City Hall and leadership that lets people know what they're getting and what they're paying for. It is a type of City Hall leadership that can work with and stand up to the province or Ottawa and ensure that Winnipeggers get what they pay for and what they deserve. This policy that I've outlined here, that I've handed out to you, represents where I am going to be spending my political capital each and every day, because I consider this to be perhaps one of the most important issues. Because politicians can stand here and wax and wane and talk on and on about the things that we're going to do. But at the end of the day, the thing that is perhaps the most important is how we're going to pay for it. For at least 15 to 10 years, in Canada, we have been talking about the fiscal imbalance between municipalities and the provincial government. And this means, how does the city actually pay for the services they need to offer? The combined rates of property taxes and school tax in the City of Winnipeg is one of the highest in the country. And to simply say that the city should simply raise rates is perhaps a non-starter, because where are we going to raise rates to? Does people, when we get to $5,000 a year, $6,000 a year, $7,000 a year, we can't go on trying to get money out of the pockets of our fellow citizens. We have to look to working with other levels of government. In 2005, the federal government recognized that there was a fiscal imbalance, that the municipalities did not have the proper resources in order to meet their obligations. And we see that when we look at our streets, when we consider what's going on and the types of services we're receiving. And it's important for us to recognize that we can know, with someone who is not connected ideologically or who is a member of a political party, someone can work with the province, the government of Manitoba, in the legislative building behind me. They too want success for all citizens. Many of the members of the legislature are actually, a majority of them, live in the City of Winnipeg. They take the same roads as us. They will be some of my constituents who I will be working for as well. But we need to ensure that we're working together to ensure the long-term success of all citizens. And if they have to have the chance or the opportunity to receive the kudos or the celebration for spending on the roads in the City of Winnipeg, as mayor, who is not an ideologue nor a professional politician, I'm going to say that I'm going to allow you to cut that ribbon. I'm going to allow you to accept the celebration for having paved the streets, for having done the hard work, and I'll stand beside you. But if that's what it takes to get the job done, that's what we need at City Hall. Now, I can't sit there and say that I'm going to get money from the PST, and we've already talked about this in the past. Since 2013, the province has been taking an extra 1% of PST in order to pay for infrastructure in the province. And understand currently they have issues with flooding and flood prevention and climate change, but once those issues have been dealt with, I expect to expend my political capital ensuring that they address the needs of all Winnipeggers. There will be an election, and this is my warning to the province. There will be an election in 2015 very shortly. That election will see me be very actively involved defending this point of view. And whether I'm going to be picking a political party, it will be up to the political parties at the legislature to make a decision about the type of support that they will receive from the mayor of the City of Winnipeg. There's only one people or one group of people that I'm going to think about at the end of the day, each and every day, and that's the citizens. When I go to bed at night, I'm going to be thinking about them, and I am thinking about them, and when I wake up in the morning, I'm thinking about them. Now, I can't ask the province to do all the heavy lifting by themselves. In fact, we also at the City Hall need to be doing some of the heavy lifting, meaning that we need to be doing a Winnipeg performance review. And this is not about cutting costs or cutting programs, but actually asking civic employees to look within themselves, to use their initiative to find savings within the budgetary lines. And whether it's as simple as asking, for instance, the libraries, how can you make money? Perhaps you can put in place a coffee house inside the library so people can spend more time, spend some money, enjoy their libraries. Or asking that if we do have canteens or coffee machines or Coke machines, that we turn out the light bulbs instead of running the electricity. Or we do LED lights all across the city to save substantial amounts of money, but not cutting an entire line in a budget, but actually looking for the minute detail, because it's going to be the savings of 1,000 little efforts that are going to make the long-term difference. One of the parts of this campaign is asking that civic employees have the opportunity to contribute, to recognize that they actually have the expertise necessary to do a good job each and every day. I'm going to install or put in place a prize for the best ideas for civic employees who can find cost savings, who can do things better, who can increase their level of productivity. And whether it's a person who says, well, this week we don't need to cut the grass in a city park because it's not been raining, we can go do something else, I'm going to give them the opportunity to prove that they actually fulfill what their title is of civil servant, servant to the people of the City of Winnipeg. But it's not only about the employees who are on the bottom of rungs of the hierarchy. It's about breaking apart that hierarchy and asking for leadership and leading by example from all levels of administration and management within the city. And this means leading by example, that if we're going to find savings and ask our employees to do more with a little bit less, then upper management is going to have to do more with less as well. And this is going to include a pay cut for not only the mayor, upper administration, and middle administration, but ensuring that we're actually, what we say, our actions fulfill our words. Our word is our honor. So I'd like to thank you very much for coming here today. I'd just like to say to the people who haven't heard me that I really care about this city. I am passionate about this city. I wouldn't stand here before you today if I did not believe that I couldn't be here. I am 37 years old, a father of 5, a university professor, and someone who really believes that if we work hard, but we work with everyone, if we work with our civic employees, if we change the culture of how we run the city, we could make substantial improvements in the overall lives of all citizens. So tapwe ako kitwam. Merci beaucoup.